Hello there, this is Idle Acres. You place a field, grows on its own, and your farm keeps producing even while the game is closed. It's a brand new game and we are starting from a completely empty Godot project. Areas that you see was created with Makko, an AI art studio used by thousands of developers, and it doesn't just generate the image, it also animates it. Today we built the base game, which consists on the placement grid, the wheat field, the carrot field, a place for chickens, a place for cows, the day and night cycle, and way more things. Opus 5 created the game logic, which might be the most capable AI model for games right now, and the same project runs on desktop and also on my Android mobile device. Just amazing. Let's get started, and spoiler, you will love the final result. For creating the art, I'm gonna be using Makko, which is a studio for 2D worlds. Already thousands of game creators are using it, and even thousands of art assets and games have been created with it. I've already used it, okay, to create the Pirate game and Starling, okay, two complete games that we made with this tool already in the channel, and this is the third game, okay, that I'm creating with it. So the first thing that I've done inside this new collection is uploading some images that basically show the world of the game. And using these concept images, I started extracting the different elements that my game will need. For example, I could select this image as a reference, paste in a prompt to create a cute 2D cartoon game character sprite, and what is amazing is that Makko understands that I'm referring to something like the guy over here. Not only that, but here you can select like whatever style you want for your character. So in this case, I use Chibi, that is this kind of a cute style that the game has all around. So for example, I'm starting right now live with you a generation with this style, but also let's try for example HD pixel and also hyper real, okay, so that we see how the output changes. And even a fourth one, okay, with this other style over here that I really like. And this is amazing, okay, the exact same character but different styles. This is the cute style that, as you can see, I would say that 100% matches the style that I want for my game. But also if I just wanted to experiment and try out different styles, with literally one click I can have all these variations. This one actually looks also very cool. This one is actually a little bit like way too realistic for the game, but well, you understand the idea. And this other one also looks very interesting. So the cool thing is that whenever you like a character, you just click over here to save it. You give it any name, for example, player 2. Of course, we don't want a static character, and Makko makes it very simple because we just need to go to the reference sheet to firstly create an image that will make the animation way better. So for this, we'll need to save our image as a concept. Switch back to reference sheet, then over here we're gonna find it, that is right over here, and click generate, as simple as that. Then we click save and give it a name, we switch to animation, select it, paste in your prompt to, for example, make this guy walk to the right. I'm gonna generate it, and also gonna start another generation for the character breathing in place. In this case, I just need to select a front perspective, of course. This was the exact same workflow for example, the different animals. Firstly, I go to the image generator, select a concept image, and just tell Makko to, for example, give me the cow, and here I would have it. Then I would switch to the reference sheet to create it, and then I would take this reference sheet to the animator and just tell it to, for example, okay, the cow breathes in place, the cow walks to the right, this other guy also breathes in place, that looks super cute. Then here it is like eating, okay, it's also another very cool state. So here, for example, we have our player walking to the right, and here, okay, breathing in place. Take a look at how consistent the different characters are between the animations. There are no weird changes between them. It's the exact same character but animated. Whenever you have the animation that you like, you just click over here to save it. This will open up the animation editor where we can see our guy walking to the right. We can modify, for example, the size. I recommend 500 by 12, and I also recommend that you resample the frames to 12 frames per second. This will keep the exact same quality of the animation, but will make it way more optimized for Godot. Then click bake, give it a name, bake again. Here you're gonna have your sheet 100% ready to use inside Godot. Then you will just need to repeat this process with all the different characters and things that you want to have animated. And once that you have everything, you can go to your game assets, and in 2 clicks export everything, export and export. As you can see, here I have them all. Then in Godot, I just need to add a new animated sprite to the node, create a new sprite frames, open it up, I rename it, add frames from sprite sheet, select it, select how many horizontal and vertical frames we have, select all, add them, and here we have our chicken. In this case, this is the idle animation. It is a little bit slow, so let's increase the frames per second to something like 15, and well, there it is. Let me super quickly repeat this exact same process but with the rest. So here we have it, for example, this is the cow idling in place and this is the cow walking, and our chicken has its own eating state, as you can see, idling and also walking. I also downloaded Godot AI, 100% free from the asset store, and by the way, this plugin is open source. This allows tools like Claude or Codex or any AI agent to interact with the Godot editor, basically creating new scenes, new nodes, etc., things that by default they can do. So for the first episode of the game, I created the base buildings and also, well, some crops and decorations. The important thing here is that a lot of things that I need consistency between, for example, a pack of decorations, a pack of icons, etc. I create them in just one generation. This just makes the process way faster and allows me to have consistent assets all around. So for example, here are the carrots growing, okay? This is like the initial state and then they will transition to this completely grown state. So I just need to select this image as a concept, for example, like this, and just tell it to create a sheet showing the same square crop plot of carrots at 4 stages of growth. As simple as that. To create the sheet of decorations, the exact same thing. I select any of the references and just tell it to give me a sheet of farm scenery props. So I just had to repeat this process with everything that I needed. And something that is actually very interesting is that, for example, I grabbed the character and then I told it to create an image showing the exact same guy but with different facial expressions, because I firstly thought that I was gonna use the character to actually move it in the scene, but then I ended up deciding that this guy will just be like an advisor, a commenter, somebody that helps me understand what the game is about and all that. And once again, take a look at the high consistency that we have in all these images. Another thing that I really like is this ground tiles setting, because this allows me to create basically seamless textures, okay, for the tiles, okay, of the game. So for example, I'm gonna have one layer that is just dirt and another one that is like grass. The exact same thing I have here, like grass and dirt, as simple as that. You just type in your prompt, select your reference image, and here you have to scroll down until you find ground tileset, as simple as that. And here comes the important part. I have my project opened inside Claude Desktop and I wanna use Opus 5. I'm just gonna tell it to create the game, and it already knows what it has to do, what the game has to contain, etc. because I've uploaded to my Godot project this game design document that, as you can see, has 20 pages, so it's very, very long, highlighting every single mechanic that the game needs to have. That, of course, I also created with Opus. And okay, take a look at the final game that we've been able to create. So I'm gonna start a completely empty new farm, and well, this is the guy that we created as the advisor, okay, as the one that is gonna teach us how to play. So for example, here I have this hand that tells me, okay, I have to click this in order to build, tap on the wheat field card, then place it on an empty patch of grass. So well, basically here we can build and start building our own stuff. So indeed, it's like it really looks like a mobile game, okay? We even ported this to a mobile game. We're gonna see this in a second. So literally we have a step-by-step tutorial that teaches us how this works. So we, for example, have the town hall here that basically has all the resources that we can sell for coins, and then well, with these coins, of course, we buy lots of different things. And here we also have an auto collect button, okay, to collect all. And over here we, for example, can buy some decorations. So let's, for example, buy this tree and we can place it wherever we want. So let's put it here, and well, it is very, very amazing, okay? The next thing that we can do is whatever we want, we can move it. So I can hold down the click over here, and I don't know, let's put this flower over here, okay? This guy is super, super cute, and well, it's amazing. I know I have this lamp, for example. I can hold down the click, put it here. If I want to move this wheat field, I can move it here. It's just amazing. Or for example, another thing that is pretty cool is that I have this dirt path that, well, I made it 100% free, because then with this, for example, let's leave a 2x2 here completely empty, and let me just add some dirt over here. And on the right, well, we have more decorations, and we can unlock other buildings, okay, as we make money. So for example, let me plant another wheat field over here and another one over here, just so that we can start like making more money, and even another one here. And I think that this one, let's move it, for example, right over here. There it is, okay. Then with this wheat, there's not many things that we can do right now with it, so I think that the wisest choice is gonna be to go to the town hall and directly, well, sell all. And now, as you can see, the guy tells me you can build a carrot field now. So let's scroll right, and here we should find, here it is, the carrot field. So let's buy a few of them. Oh my god, now I need 3 carrots, so here we need to start collecting them. So well, you get the idea, right? This game also has a day-night cycle, so this is the evening and this is the night, for example, so it looks very, very cool. Now with this, I think that I'm gonna be able to buy another carrot field. Let's, for example, start buying some decoration. For example, now that it's night, let's buy a few farmlands over here. And also maybe a small pod. Okay, it's a little bit bigger, so maybe here, and a tree there, okay, and some dirt over there as well. Yes, this starts to look very, very good. So well, here I've been playing for a while, and now I can buy more things. So I can buy, for example, a chicken pen. So this is super cute because I have my my chickens over there. And okay, I think that now, yes, I can even buy a cow pen. So let's put it, I don't know, right over here, okay, and now we have a cows, and for example, well, we now have wheat, we have carrots, we have eggs, and these guys over here, I think they give us, yes, exactly, milk, and well, you get the idea, right? Let's put another, I know, chicken pen over here, then let's look for more dirt to put right over here, and even over here. That's very, very cool. And also have this other chicken thing, okay? That well doesn't have chickens inside, but it will give us eggs as well, okay, as you can see over here. So well, this just looks awesome, really. And the cool thing is that if I close the game and start it over again, here I'm gonna have a screen that tells me, okay, while you were away, well, your farm produced, well, some resources. Of course, I can collect them, as you can see, quite a lot. And of course, with these resources, I can continue expanding my farm. So now, for example, let's buy a few flowers over here. I'm not very good at decorations, as you have probably already realized, but anyway, for example, now let's buy more chickens, more cows, and then here connect all these with a nice dirt path. And also we can start connecting this like this, and well, let's start expanding our farm, okay? And well, take a look at what the main scene is, like all the UI elements that we have, all the world elements, okay? That also have been created here by Claude. It's just amazing. Or even like here, like take a look at the art folder, just everything that we have that of course we've created in Makko is very, very amazing. Also, of course, we have all the different scenes and all the scripts. Like this game is very heavy in terms of mechanics and all that, so of course gonna be having dozens of them. I ended up loving so much this game that I decided to port it to my Android device, thing that also Claude on its own 100% did. And that is also amazing because I just plugged in my Android device to my PC and Claude was able to install the game on my device, test that everything was working fine. So literally I'm completely out of words. And well, it is amazing. Take a look at the final asset, okay, that we ended up having for the game, okay? I am literally super amazed with everything that we've been able to do in this video. So well, this is all for today's video. Start using Makko with the link in the description down below and see you in the next one.